Ufology is the investigation of unidentified. This presentation contains images that were used under a Creative Commons license. Click here to see the full list of images and attributions. https://link.attribute.to/cc/1883324 Flying objects by people who believe that they may be of extraordinary origins. While there are instances of government, private, and fringe science investigations of UFOs, ufology is regarded by skeptics and science educators as a canonical example of pseudoscience. Wikipedia. For the record, MIB or Men in Black. Anonymous dark-clothed men who supposedly visit people who have reported an encounter with a UFO or an alien in order to prevent their publicizing it. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. This video share includes the information as an article about Men in Black in UFO conspiracy theories. For the film franchise, see Men in Black franchise. For other uses, see Men in Black. Stylized depiction of a man in black. Ufologists, one who studies and researches unidentified flying objects. Also known as unidentified aerial phenomena or unidentified anomalous phenomena. Aliens not of this world as a humanoid species or Homo sapiens sapiens. Creatures not originating from Earth. Alienologists, those who study and research aliens. The study of aliens. Men in Black figure prominently in ufology and UFO folklore. Description: ufology is the investigation of unidentified flying objects by people who believe that they may be of extraordinary origins. While there are instances of government, private, and fringe science investigations of UFOs, ufology is regarded by skeptics and science educators as a canonical example of pseudoscience. Wikipedia. In the 1950s and 1960s, ufologists adopted a conspiratorial mindset and began to fear they would be subject to organized intimidation in retaliation for discovering the truth of the UFOs. 2. In 1947, Arnold Dahl claimed to have been warned not to talk about his alleged UFO sighting on Maury Island by a man in a dark suit. In the mid-1950s, the ufologist Albert K. Bender claimed he was visited by men in dark suits who threatened and warned him not to continue investigating UFOs. Bender maintained that the men in black were secret government agents who had been given the task of suppressing evidence of UFOs. The ufologist John Keel claimed to have had encounters with men in black and referred to them as demonic supernaturals with dark skin and/or exotic facial features. According to the ufologist Jerome Clark, reports of men in black represent experiences that don't seem to have occurred in the world of consensus reality. Historian Aaron Gulius wrote, during the 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s, UFO conspiracy theorists would incorporate the men in black into their increasingly complex and paranoid visions. Ufologist John Keel has argued that some men in black encounters can be explained as miscast, entirely mundane events perpetuated through local folklore. In his 1975 book The Mothman Prophecies, Keel describes a late-night outing in 1967 rural West Virginia where he himself was taken for a man in black while searching for a phone to call a tow truck. In his article, Gray Barker, My Friend, the Mythmaker, John C. Sherwood claims that, in the late 1960s, at the age of 18, he cooperated when Gray Barker urged him to develop a hoax, which Barker subsequently published, about what Barker called Blackmen, 3 mysterious UFO inhabitants who silenced Sherwood's pseudonymous identity, Dr. Richard H. Pratt. In popular culture, the 1997 science fiction film Men in Black, starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, was loosely based on the Men in Black comic book series created by Lowell Cunningham and Sandy Carruthers. Cunningham had the idea for the comic once a friend of his introduced him to the concept of government, Men in Black, upon seeing a black van riding the streets. In the 1998 anime series Serial Experiments Lain, there is the presence of men in black, remarkably similar to the Men in Black from the original conspiracy theory. In the story, they have the work to track down and assassinate the members of a hacker group called the Knights of the Eastern Calculus, whose objective is to merge the real world and the wired, an internet-like communication system, into one. UFOs and ufology. Notable sightings: Kenneth Arnold UFO sighting, Roswell, McMinnville UFO photographs, Flatwoods Monster, Barney and Betty Hill abduction, Rendlesham Forest. Government investigations: Operação Prato, Brazil, Project Magnet, Canada, GEIPAN, France, Institute 22 Soviet Union, Flying Saucer Working Party, UK, Project Condign, UK, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, USA, Condon Committee, USA.
Cosmos has multiverses. Universe, multiverse, metaverse, xenoverse, omniverse, alphaverse, omegaverse. Quadrants of each universe are patrolled. Space Patrol and Guardians of the Universe share in missions throughout the cosmos. Terra-forming by humanoid sentient intelligent beings. The Supreme High Council is over the universes up to the Omniverse. Alpha-verse and Omega-verse are the higher, and the expansion goes in with our God, which is absolute. Various levels of intelligence have been formed depending on how clusters of humanoids have been seeded throughout all universes. We all now know that nature and nurture are important to all levels of life in the expansion.
Project Blue Book, USA, Project Grudge, USA, Project Sign, USA, Robertson Panel, USA. Types of UFO: Black Triangle, Flying Saucer, Foo Fighter, Ghost Rockets, Green Fireballs, Mystery Airship. UFO Organizations Center for UFO Studies, USA, founded by J. Allen Hynek, perpetuated by UFO Associates, UAP Associates, Cosmopoisk, Russia, Archivet for UFO Forskning, Sweden, Istanbul UFO Museum, Turkey, British UFO Research Association, UK, Centre for UFO Studies, USA, Fund for UFO Research, USA, International UFO Congress, USA, Mutual UFO Network, USA, National UFO Reporting Center, USA. Conspiracy theories. Area 51, Bob Lazar, Majestic 12, Men in Black, Serpo. Religions. Aetherius Society, Church of the Subgenius, Heaven's Gate, Raelism, Nation of Islam #The Mother Plane and Ezekiel's Wheel, Scientology, Unarius Academy of Science. Lists, reported UFO sightings, investigations of UFOs by governments, identification studies of UFOs, UFO organizations, ufologists, alleged extraterrestrial beings. V.T.E. In popular culture and UFO conspiracy theories, Men in Black, MIB, are supposed men dressed in black suits who claim to be quasi-government agents who harass, threaten or sometimes even assassinate UFO witnesses to keep them quiet about what they have seen. It is sometimes suggested that they are disguised aliens themselves. The term is frequently used to describe mysterious men working for unknown organizations. Some people say due to various branches of government allegedly designed to protect secrets or perform other strange activities. It is shared as a term in writing back to 1967 in books and referring to G-men or government men for hire as government security or goons for hire as contractors. Some were said to be from the J. Edgar Hoover time of keeping politicians and law enforcement such as FBI and the Educated Social Club to run as politicians blackmailed. Many people who had a claim to fame or a rise in fame to higher social registers were often blackmailed with deeds of their colorful past. This became known among security personnel who attended to the bodyguard and security positions working for those in control of the metropolitan cities. Then also came those from the War of the Worlds and World War II connection and the underground French connection of hiding out prisoners and Jews fame the Hitler regime. The term is generic, used for any unusual, threatening or strangely behaved individual whose appearance on the scene can be linked in some fashion with UFO sighting. Several alleged encounters with the Men in Black have been reported by UFO researchers and enthusiasts. Science fiction Men in Black franchise of comic books, films.
Cosmos has multiverses. Universe, multiverse, metaverse, xenoverse, omniverse, alphaverse, omegaverse. Quadrants of each universe are patrolled. Space Patrol and Guardians of the Universe share in missions throughout the cosmos. Terraforming by humanoid sentient intelligent beings. The Supreme High Council is over the universes up to the Omniverse. Alphaverse and Omegaverse are the higher and the expansion goes in with our God which is absolute. Various levels of intelligence have been formed depending on how clusters of humanoids have been seeded throughout all universes. We all now know that nature and nurture are important to all levels of life in the expansion.